system in place for that use his unique skill set. Skip, look, we wanted Norv Turner because we saw we know what Norv Turner can do with conventional quarterbacks. Norv Turner, basically, their route tree is the bang eight, which is the 1 through 3, 4, 5, and throw the skinny post. He has the deep comeback and he has the speed out. But that's not what Cam is. Now, if you hire Greg Roman, let's just say for the sake of argument, Skip, and I know he wasn't mentioned in this, Greg Roman, okay, you see the skill set and what he's done with Lamar Jackson. Now, Jim Harbaugh, he had a guy that was very similar to Cam in Colin Kaepernick. So I think that goes a long way. But I believe if they were to say, no, Cam, we want to go in a different direction, we're going to clear the decks, we want someone else to be the face of our franchise, Cam will have suitors. It's being reported that he is going to have the surgery on his foot, which is going to keep him out 8 to 12 weeks, which means, Skip, by the time free agency roll around, he should be fairly healthy, and teams go in their medical staff and take a look at that foot. So I believe he'll have choices. But I do believe he's their best option. We see Kyle Allen now. They get 3 or 4 games of game tape on you, Skip. He sure doesn't look as good as he did in the first 3 games, did he, Skip? Now he's looking like, okay, now I see why you went undrafted. I believe Cam would be their best option, but you're going to have to be a coach that's willing to put a system in place that will work with his unique skill set.
So I hear you, and you could be right about this, but let's start with this new owner, David Tepper, who just pulled the plug on Ron Rivera with, what are we, 4 games left.
Ago.
Huge ego, potentially the next Jerry Jones. Quick point in his career, he once worked for Goldman Sachs. He seems to have a real financial genius about him because he is a billionaire. And I read last night that he came up with a way to help save Goldman Sachs during the crash of 1987, and he thought he would be promoted to a partner after that, but he feels like he was passed over because, quote unquote, he was too loud and profane. This is the owner of the Carolina Panthers.
Well, I know how Goldman Sachs got bailed out. Government money. Just like a lot of the other ones got bailed out with government money.
All right. So he doesn't need anybody to bail him out now.
No, he good.
Because his ego is big enough that he thinks he can recreate the Panthers in his image. So he wants to start it from the top down. He wants to start it over. So I'm just going to guess. This is my educated guess from a distance, or my 2 cents from a distance. He'll want to start over with a new coach and a new quarterback.
Yes.
And
because both of those remind him of what? The old regime.
That is correct.
That's Jerry Richardson. He hired Ron Rivera and Cam.
And probably to his point, Cam has taken a lot of hits, man. In fact, I saw stats last night. He has taken the most hits of any pro football player in the time he's been in pro football. That's running back, anybody. He's taken the most hits of anybody on offense. It's a lot of wear and tear.
It is.
And he's invited a lot of those hits.
Correct.
He's dished as much as he has taken. But the point is, he's had 2 shoulder surgeries, and there was some doubt early this year when he didn't seem to have enough gun left to throw the deep ball.
Correct.
And what did he do the best when he was running and throwing? He could wing it, man. So if you take that away from him, now 2 surgeries on shoulders and 1 on his foot, take away a little bit of quickness,
mobility,
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would I like to see him as the Bears quarterback next year? Sure, I would. I think that'd be a huge upgrade for the Chicago Bears. You could make cases saying, I'm not saying it, L.A. Chargers, obviously. Wherever Tom Brady doesn't go, if in fact he gets pushed out the back door. So there will be plenty of suitors for Cam. And the truth is, heart of hearts for me, I would like to see him get a fresh start somewhere.
You could be right.
Just start over and with a new big chip on your shoulder, because Cam can be pretty fierce when he's got a big chip on his shoulder.
And you know, Skip, sometimes when you're in a location for an extended period of time, people start to take for granted, and they don't realize how good you were. And then all of a sudden, and they're starting to get a little taste of it now because they've kind of fallen on hard times because Christian McCaffrey's not losing his mind. So they like, okay, we're going to shut down C-Mac, and we're going to see what your quarterback can do. Well, now that C-Mac can't go for $150 and 112 receiving, and Kyle Allen has to win these games, now you see just how pedestrian he actually looks. So maybe you're right, Skip. I think Carolina would be a great place, but like I said before, I believe he'll have his suitors. You know, like if Jerry Jones says Jason Garrett will be a hot commodity on the open market, I believe Cam Newton. will be hot commodity. But again, Skip, it goes back to he's not everybody's cup of tea, and you got to be willing to put him in a system that fits his skill set.
Yep. So I've always been a big Ron Rivera fan, and I think he's a rock-solid football coach with a defensive mindset. But then last night, I start scanning his records as the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, and it's not that great.
No.
They're 6 out of 9 years, they had losing records. When they hit, they really hit. They went to the Super Bowl with 15-1.
Right.
And in the postseason, he's 7-3, which that's
pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. But do I blame David Tepper for saying, I want to start over? I don't.
Right.
Okay. That's fine with me.
Because that's what he said, Skip. He said, I knew I was going to be looking for a new head coach. Let me go ahead and start the process.
Just do it. And again, I liked his idea of, I don't want to be sneaking behind his back and trying to interview guys on the sly and have Ron find out about it before the season.
Right.
Because he said, I'm already hearing that some of the coaches who might be in play are already getting feelers from other teams that need a new coach.
Right.
So he wanted to get ahead of that. I'm fine with all that. I also remind everybody, I loved Will Grier coming out of college, and he's the third-string quarterback.
Right.
And he has not had a chance yet.
No.
But I thought Will Grier was the second-best quarterback in that draft behind Kyler Murray.
Okay.
And I want to see, and maybe they want to see what he could do going forward with a new regime and a new coach. I don't know. Maybe they're down. I have no idea. But I just know at West Virginia, he could light it up. And you saw some games.
Oh, yeah. He always really impressed me.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised he hasn't.
I think the thing is, but Tepper needs to understand whether it's going to be Kyle Allen or Will Grier, or you go into the draft.
They might go into the draft. Yep.
But just know, Skip, the likelihood of a rookie quarterback taking you somewhere, you understand you're going to have some lean times now.
Well, he had a quote yesterday about that and said, I'm not this, don't look to me to be the savior. If you think I'm the savior, I want to introduce you to the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus, or I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn, right?
So,
okay, so I got that. So he's trying to temper
But see, Skip, you know what?
Expectations.
When you've had the kind of success that he has, that's easier said than done. Because he can snap his fingers and whatever he wants, when you have that kind of wealth, you can get. But it doesn't work like that in sports. Because it doesn't, especially football, because you have a cap. You can't just be the Yankees or the Red Sox and go get, I'm going to get the best pitcher, first baseman, second baseman, center fielder.
True.
You can't do that in football. So you said, okay, yeah, I understand, it's going to take some time. Are you really? Are you sure?
It's a process.
You have that kind of time.
Yep.
You have that kind of stomach for patience.
Jerry Jones dominated the oil fields of Oklahoma and Texas. And then he dominated the NFL for a while.
Right.
And then it's been since the 1995 season since he won a Super Bowl.
Right.
And it's been forever since they had any playoff run.
But Skip, the thing is, people look at what the Patriots do and they're like, that it's got to be, I mean, they can't be the only one that's doing it. I mean, everybody practices. No, that's an anomaly. Like the Yankees winning I think they went 12 straight years and when they won 90 games, or they won, 7 out of 10 championships. Skip, those are anomalies. Those don't happen. They only happen once in a lifetime. So you think that somebody's going to be able to replicate at a destination what New England's doing? No. So get that thought. Skip, you ain't going to have no 17 straight seasons of 10 wins. Get that out your head.
That is true. But I wish Cam well.
Yes, I wish him health.
Okay.
Everything else will take care of itself. I want him to get totally healthy. That foot, those shoulders, and then, hey, go somewhere, if it's not in Carolina, that will embrace your skill set and put a system around you. Not say, okay, well, this guy was great with Troy Aikman. This guy, he's the quarterback whisperer. But is he going to run a system that's conducive to what Cam can really do well?
Yep.
Yeah. And he had a nice post about Ron Rivera. And, you know, they had been together since 2011. Only coach he's ever had.
Right.
So, I mean, that's hard. That's a long relationship.
I mean, they did a thing, Skip. They were talking about the players that came in that draft. Cam out. Von Miller missed the game. J.J. Watt missed the game. Julio missed the game. All the guys, the top guys, like wow, 2011. But that was a heck of a draft.
It was.
Just remember, he's only 30 years old.
30.
So just keep that in mind if he's able to get well.
He's got a lot of football left in him.